Welcome one to Chicago. Here is the new Raw Women's Champion, AJ Lee, who last week defeated the man Becky Lynch in Toronto for that title. Chicago, did you miss me? You should, because last Monday in Toronto, your girl walked in enemy territory and walked out the Raw Women's Champion. And let me tell you, it felt real good locking in the Black Widow again. It felt even better watching Becky Lynch, the man, tap out like she was stuck in a web. She couldn't escape. Becky likes to talk about being big time, but last week, big time tapped out in prime time. You know, for a long time, people try to write me off. Paige tried to end my career, tried to break me, tried to make sure I never stopped the foot in a ring again. But here's the thing about me. I don't break. I bend, I twist, I snap back. And now that Paige is gone, now that that past is behind me, I stand here as your Raw Women's Champion. I didn't come back to be cute. I didn't come back to be nostalgic. I came back because I am still the standard. I'm still the blueprint. I'm still the woman every woman in the locker room grew up watching. And now, I'm the one they all have to get through. So let me make this perfectly clear. I am your favorite wrestler's favorite wrestler. I'm the Raw Women's Champion. And I am not going anywhere. Ladies and gentlemen, what a big word there from our Raw Women's Champion, AJ Lee. What a way to kick off Raw, ladies and gentlemen. AJ Lee, the new Raw Women's Champion, here tonight on Raw. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Monday Night Raw. And here comes the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes, in our first match of the evening, of the night here in Chicago, Illinois. Live in Chicago.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall. Making his way to the ring from Atlanta, Georgia, weighing in at 222 pounds, the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes!
Well, ladies and gentlemen, Cody Rhodes, a man who didn't get done last week against CM Punk in Toronto, but tonight, he goes one-on-one against the Scottish Warrior, Drew McIntyre, live on Raw, in our opening match, in our opening contest here in Toronto. But ladies and gentlemen, also tonight, we'll hear from the Raw Universal Champion, Seth freaking Rollins, who posted to social media has a big announcement regarding CM Punk versus the match between him and CM Punk at tonight's main event in Paris in just 3 weeks. Just 3 weeks away. Plus, we find out who will be taking BB in the next tournament. 12th tournament continues tonight, later on tonight. Tournament continues later on tonight as well for the tag team championship. But also tonight, our main event, we'll see the match
from Scotland, weighing in at 285 pounds, the Scottish Warrior,
ladies and gentlemen, the Scottish Warrior, Drew McIntyre. Ready for action tonight? Drew McIntyre versus Cody Rhodes on Monday Night Raw, live in Chicago. Live in Chicago, Illinois tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Without the from AJ Lee, the new Raw Women's Champion. She is not going anywhere. She is a state champion for as long as he wants to. Ladies and gentlemen, big matchup tonight. Cody Rhodes versus Drew McIntyre. Live on Monday Raw Plus. And our main event SoCo tonight, we'll see El Mercado take on a mystery opponent for an opportunity to become number one contender to face Sturdy Dom Mysterio at Saturday night's main event in Paris. In Paris for the Intercontinental Championship. Who will be? We'll find that out later on tonight in our main event. SoCo here in our main event tonight here in Chicago. But ladies and gentlemen, big night of action tonight. Monday Night Raw in Chicago, Illinois. This is Monday Night Raw on Netflix. We're here in Chicago. You're live tonight in Chicago, Illinois. Live on Netflix. And on Monday Night Raw, ladies and gentlemen, big time matchup tonight in a sold out arena here in Chicago. Ladies and gentlemen. Live on Monday Night Raw on Netflix. Our first match of the night, Drew McIntyre versus Cody Rhodes on Monday Night Raw. Here we go, Cody Rhodes versus Drew McIntyre on Monday Night Raw. Here tonight in Chicago. CM Punk versus Cody Rhodes was a great match last week on Raw. Their trial match last week. Cody Rhodes and CM Punk. But one man went. He's going on to Paris, and that man is the best in the world, CM Punk. Cody Rhodes is still proving he is still why he is still the American Nightmare against Drew McIntyre. Man who said, who posted on social media after the match, that Cody looked like he would never looked to be out of his element tonight, last week. Cody did not like that. That's why John Cena made this match official. This match official tonight here on Monday Night Raw on Netflix. You see, Cody's busted open a little bit. Cody is bleeding from the head. Cody's busted open here. There's blood rushing down from his face. Drew McIntyre, Cody Rhodes on Monday Night Raw on Netflix in Chicago. Live in Chicago tonight. And our first match of the evening here tonight on Monday Night Raw. The first match of the night here in Chicago on Netflix. CM Punk versus Cody Rhodes versus Drew McIntyre. Well, still we will find out still who will face, who will be in the next week. We already know that the Vision have moved on to next week's show. Moved on to next week. The face, the winner, moved on to next week. Moved on to next week's show. That's the show Raw. Tonight, moved on to the next week's show. And that's we're gonna have 2 10 matches next week. The matches will face the matches next week as well. And then the go home show will have the match to see who will face whoever that tag team will be. So now we have a big match tonight scheduled for tag action. That's when we see the New Day of tag action. It's the mystery tag team. It's the mystery tag team here tonight live on in Chicago. Tonight. Will be the face of the Usos? I don't know. Let's see what face of the Usos tonight. We'll face the New Day later. We'll face the New Day. Tag team action. Big match of Cody Rhodes versus Drew McIntyre versus First Warrior. Drew McIntyre on Monday Night Raw on Netflix here tonight. And our first match of the evening of the night here in Chicago. We're in Chicago. First match of the night here in Chicago. Cody Rhodes versus Drew McIntyre. Pedigree by Cody. The pedigree by Cody Rhodes to Drew McIntyre. 1, 2 by McIntyre. McIntyre 2. And McIntyre. It's the match with the Future Shock DDT. The Future Shock DDT by McIntyre. And McIntyre looking for the Claymore. And McIntyre. The Claymore, the Cody Rhodes. The Claymore, the Cody. 1, 2, 2. Just a 2 count by Cody. McIntyre thought that was it for Cody. McIntyre thought that was it for Cody Rhodes. And Cody Rhodes still in this fight is Cody. And Drew McIntyre and Cody Rhodes, Monday Night action here, folks. Sold out here in Chicago. And here in Chicago, we're only 3 weeks away from Saturday night's main event in Paris. Who will be? We already know CM Punk and Seth Rollins are going to go to war in Paris. But we also know Seth Rollins tonight has a stipulation for Saturday night's main event in Paris. Match stipulation. We don't know what match stipulation Seth has, but he posted on social media earlier today that he will be in the ring later on tonight and talk about and make a match. Ask a challenge. Give a challenge for Cody Rhodes for CM Punk. That's our night's main event in Paris. Let's see if I'm doing a good job. McIntyre again. Going again for the Claymore. And McIntyre. Cody cannot get out of that. Cody's down with McIntyre. 1, 2 count by Cody. By the American Nightmare. Cody Rhodes. You're on Monday Night Raw Netflix. Big matchup here for Rhodes and Drew McIntyre. Matchup of the evening here in Chicago. His hometown of Chicago. CM Punk not here tonight. CM Punk's white AJ Lee, the world champions here, cannot be show tonight here in Toronto, here in Chicago. Now CM Punk's hometown here. Knocking again. And bump by McIntyre. And the Squash Warrior again. Look for another Claymore. To the American Nightmare. Cody gets hit with a Claymore. Here on Monday Night Raw, Cody's down by Squash Warrior. Kick out of one. Cody Rhodes by American Nightmare. Cody Rhodes. Cody. One-on-one action here, folks. And there he goes, Cody. The crossroad by Cody. Crossroad by the American Nightmare. 1, 2 count. Just a 2 count by Drew McIntyre. The Squash Warrior. Drew McIntyre. You're on Monday Night Raw on Netflix here in Chicago. Netflix here in Chicago, Illinois. Live in Chicago, Illinois, ladies and gentlemen, for Monday Night Raw on Netflix, and a backbreaker by the Scottish Warrior, Drew McIntyre. The Scottish Warrior is ready for a fight tonight against Cody Rhodes. Here on Monday Night Raw tonight, Cody's in trouble. McIntyre busted open. Cody busted open. Both men busted open here. And bleeding profusely here in the ring in Chicago. Chicago, Illinois. Live on Monday Night Raw on Netflix. And Cody Rhodes, Drew McIntyre and Cody again. Throwing hands. And the first match on the night here in Chicago. You're in Chicago. Chicago crowd up on their feet tonight. Once it's one live action here in Chicago, ladies and gentlemen. It was a great night in Toronto last week. A trouble night last week in Toronto. And again, McIntyre again with another Claymore against McIntyre. And a Claymore again to Cody, and McIntyre, the Boston Traveler, Cody Rhodes is not doing too well as Cody by McIntyre, by the Scottish Warrior. Drew McIntyre here, beating the hell out of Cody. You're around the back, here we go, pins up there, on Cody. Drew McIntyre. Kick off 1 by Cody Rhodes by the American Nightmare. Cody Rhodes on and Drew McIntyre. Here we go. Almost went for it. They missed completely. Here we go. Cody Cutter. The Cody Cutter. Is that it for the boy McIntyre? 1, 2 count. on McIntyre. But Cody Rhodes, he's not done. Cody's ready for one thing. And that one thing is another crossroads. To that band now. 1, 2, 3. Cody wins. Cody beats McIntyre. What a match to kick off Raw. What an incredible match to kick off Raw here on Monday, here tonight in Chicago. Well, ladies and gentlemen, big matches tonight. Huge night. We still have a huge night to get to tonight, ladies and gentlemen, here in Chicago. But what a match and what a win for Cody Rhodes here tonight in Chicago as he beats Drew McIntyre here tonight in the first match of the night, the opening contest on Monday Night Raw.
Here is your winner, the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes!
Ladies and gentlemen, you see the blood all over Cody's face, all over Cody's body. Cody Rhodes proved tonight why he is the American Nightmare. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. It's time for the one-on-one winners action. And here comes the Women's United States Champion, Chelsea Green.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall, making her way to the ring, accompanied by the Secret Purpose from Victoria, British Columbia, Canada, the WWE Women's United States Champion, Chelsea Green.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, Chelsea Green here in action tonight. We saw her lose last week in Toronto to Charlotte Flair, which means she faces Charlotte in just 2 weeks as our main event for the Women's United States Championship. We'll see what happens to who's her opponent tonight. She has 4 matches as a mission opponent here tonight on Monday Raw. Who's going to be? Oh, wait a minute. It's Jacy Jayne representing the Fatal Influence tonight here on Monday Raw on Netflix. And a big night matchup here tonight in Chicago, Illinois tonight here on Monday Raw.
And her opponent, representing Fatal Influence from Tampa, Florida, Jacy Jayne.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, Jacy Jayne ready for one-on-one action tonight against Chelsea Green. We already know that Charlotte is facing Chelsea in Paris. That's our night's main event for the United States Women's Championship. But when we find out we'll face Dominic at our main event tonight, our main event between Eldra Americano and a mystery opponent. Who's it going to be? We'll find out now later on tonight, our main event live tonight in Chicago. We also will find out we'll be going to round 2 of the tournament for the Tag Team Championships later on tonight as well as the New Day are going to be in action for this mystery tag team later on tonight here on Monday Raw. Well, ladies and gentlemen, what a night's going to be here. It's been to start off Raw tonight. A big match to start off Raw tonight. We had Cody Rhodes defeat Drew McIntyre, and now it's time for Chelsea Green, Jacy Jayne here on Monday Raw on Netflix. In women's action. Here we go, women's action here in Chicago, Illinois, Chicago. I'm on Netflix. In Chicago. Chelsea Green versus Jacy Jayne. Fatal Influence here tonight on Monday Night Raw. We all know that Chelsea Green will be facing the Queen Charlotte Flair. That's our main event for the women's. Tonight, she doesn't need to know, but tonight she says she wants to prove she can still be a champion in the field. The kick to the face of Chelsea Green by Jason Jane of Fatal Influence. Here on Monday Night Raw on Netflix, and here we go in the corner here. Right to the corner, and a beat down there by Jason Jane to Chelsea Green, the Women's United Champion. Chelsea Green here tonight. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we will have some great matches. We still have a big match. We still have some matches here tonight. As the former Raw Women's Champion, Becky Lynch, will be in action later on tonight against a mystery opponent. It's B-Fab later on tonight here on Netflix. Here on Monday Night Raw. We also have a big main event. We'll also hear from the Raw Universal Champion, Seth freaking Rollins, later on today as well. Here on Monday Night Raw he has the stipulation planned for CM Punk and him. That's our night's main event in Paris for the Raw Universal Championship. Universal title. So here we go. See it. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Chelsea Green versus Jason Jane here on Monday Night Raw on Netflix. And here we go. Natural selection, a little homage to Charlotte Flair there. Chelsea Green's opponent for Saturday night's main event in Paris. Who cannot get a victory here is Jason Jane, who tried to take advantage of the attack here early on. Big matchup here in Chicago for these two women here. The exposed turnbuckle. Not what Piper even thought was going to happen there, and a beat down there early on. Chelsea Green's been busted open. Chelsea Green is busted open, folks. No one by Chelsea Green. No one by the Women's United Champion, Chelsea Green. Chelsea Green, the Women's United Champion of WWE. Chelsea Green. Back attack here by Chelsea Green, the Women's United Champion. Here on Monday Night Raw, Jason Jane. It's Jason Jane tonight. Here on Monday Night Raw on Netflix. Down back again, knee to the face of the Women's United States Champion. Again, a Bill is beat down here, folks. A giant beat down in the face. Again, no to the face again. Now, nighty-night Chelsea Green away on there, folks. It looks like now that Piper Niven and Alba Fire get involved in this matchup. Now we see here tonight, did we get a thing like this happening in the ring tonight? But the other side of the pin, if you're on the pin now, would that be enough now for the Women's United Champion? As the official Legion was distracted early on here in the matchup. Right on the attack here. Both women are down here. Go for the pin here, Chelsea Green. Go for the pin here, Chelsea Green. Now go for the pin on Jason Jane early on here. Kick out though, but a kick out. Almost the end for Chelsea Green, but Chelsea Green says one thing here. Chelsea Green looking for the unpretty her is Chelsea Green. And that could be it, folks. And that could be all it takes. 1, 2, 3. Chelsea Green with the victory here in Chicago. Well, what a win here for Chelsea Green, the Women's United States Champion, with the victory tonight. With the help of Piper Niven and Alba Fire tonight. Which, in my opinion, should not have been able to help her here tonight. But John Cena said on social media that we know outside interference help for Chelsea Green after the main match when she takes on Charlotte for the Women's United States Championship. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we'll see what happens there at Saturday Night Main Event in just 2 weeks.
Here is your winner,
in Paris. Well, ladies and gentlemen, Chelsea Green with the victory tonight. As she defeats. She wins tonight. Chelsea Green proves why she is the United States woman. She wants you all pledge our allegiance to the champion. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. It's time for the tag team action right here in Chicago. And here's your boys, the New Day, the new and improved New Day here tonight in action live on Netflix. No Big E. Big E was sent to the hospital years ago.
The contest is a tag team match scheduled for one fall. On their way to the ring at a combined weight of 417 pounds, Xavier Woods and Kofi Kingston, the New Day.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, the New Day, the new and improved New Day, Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods, the new and improved New Day here tonight in action and tag action live on Netflix here tonight on Monday Night Raw. Who their opponents are going to be, we still don't know, but we do know that this is the continuation of the tournament that happened last week on Raw, when we saw the Vision defeat Fraxium last week. Beat Fraxium last week in Toronto. But tonight, the New Day are in action. It is the mystery tag team. Who's it going to be? We'll find out live in moments right here in Chicago on Monday Night Raw in tag team action, ladies and gentlemen. Don't go away. We'll take action up next on Monday Night Raw, live on Netflix. And live from Chicago. And who are their opponents to be tonight? Well, ladies and gentlemen, the Morrissey Machine Guns are ready for this tag action tonight here on Monday Night Raw. Just a New Day in this tag team tournament. In this tag team tournament right now here on Raw.
And their opponents at a combined weight of 420 pounds, Alex Shelley and Chris Sabin, the Motor City Machine Guns.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, the Morrissey Machine Guns, Alex Shelley, Chris Sabin, the greatest tag team in the world. The greatest tag team in the world, the Morrissey Machine Guns, ready for action tonight against the New Day here in this tag team tournament. And once here, we'll go on to next week's show. We'll go on to next week. We'll go on to the finals. We'll go on next week to next. We'll go on to next week. We'll head to next week. We'll go to next week. There we go. Kofi Kingston versus Chris Sabin. Here on Monday Night Raw to kick off this tag team matchup. Here on Monday Night Raw night, take action here in Chicago, Illinois. Here on Netflix. And the New Day are getting booed out of the building like usual. The New Day have changed their attitude since they said they got rid of the dead weight in Big E. We haven't seen Big E for a couple months now. Big E was taken out in a stretcher because he had us attacked by the New Day at WrestleMania. But tonight, they get an opportunity. The New Day get an opportunity to show why they are the best tag. Why they are one of the best tag teams. Why they were the best tag team in the world in the beginning. They were also the best. They were also the first ever Raw tag team champions here in WWE. And now, since it's all been changed, it's now a new era of WWE. And now we have the Usos as the tag champs on Monday Night Raw. The Usos were tag champions as well before in the past, but now they are back as champions of WrestleMania. The team who was at WrestleMania, the former tag team champions who are not here in WWE no more. The club, Gallows and Anderson, who are not here any longer because they're here any longer. And their contracts were expired. Became expired after WrestleMania. So here we are, ladies and gentlemen, big matchup here. Kofi Kingston and now Alex Shelley of the Warrior City Machine Guns. Here on Monday Night Raw on Netflix. Here tonight. And the Warrior City Machine Guns showing why they are your favorite tag team's favorite tag team. here at WWE. Well, we all know, ladies and gentlemen, we'll hear from Seth Rollins later on. Seth Rollins will be here live. The Visionary will be live here on Raw tonight. Later on, the Visionary will be here live later on tonight. And now here we go. Kofi comes into the corner to take him, Xavier, and he does. And here comes Xavier Woods of the new and improved New Day here tonight. Well, the New Day proving why they are the best, why they're one of the best tag teams in WWE. And we all know they were the best tag team before, but now they are proving they are not the best tag. They're proving they are the worst tag team in the world now because they got rid of their best friend Big E. They call him dead weight. I mean, they were never dead weight in the New Day. They were friends. Have them become champions. But now, this is all different. Past has been changed. The New Day are never going to be tagging again. Here tonight, in the New Day versus the Morrison Machine Guns are taking place right now in the ring. And that's made to the face by Xavier Woods of the New Day here tonight. And the crowd are chanting, "Thank God for the New Day." Ladies and gentlemen, we should all thank God for the New Day. As the New Day proving why they are the best tag team right now. After taking advantage, taking apart the Motor City Machine Guns here. And here we go, folks. Beat down here. Down goes Xavier Woods. Xavier Woods is down, folks. Xavier Woods down in the corner now. Been put in the corner. Here we go, folks. It's time. Skull and Bones. Well, Skull and Bones. Kofi's down. Down goes Kofi on the outside. And now pin. 1, 2, 3. The Morrison Machine Guns move on in the tournament. Here on Raw Night. One tag match. And one win for the Morrison City Machine Guns. Here on Netflix. Well, the New Day thought they could get it done tonight, but the New Day could not get it done. They're just the Morrison City Machine Guns. Here on Monday Night Raw tonight. And watch this again. The Skull and Bones by the Morrison Machine Guns, which got them the victory here in Chicago, live on Netflix. Live on Raw.
Here are your winners, Alex Shelley and Chris Sabin, the Motor City Machine Guns.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, the Morrison City Machine Guns stand tall tonight on Monday Night Raw on Netflix. One win for the Morrison City Machine Guns tonight, as they are now one step closer to now they're another step. Now they're hitting round 2 of the tournament. Moving on in the tournament. Who will they face? Who knows? Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Monday Night Raw. And here comes Liv Morgan.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall. Making her way to the ring, accompanied by Dominic Mysterio. Representing the Judgment Day from Elmwood Park, New Jersey, Liv Morgan.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, Liv Morgan here in action tonight against Tiffany Stratton here on Monday Night Raw, live on Netflix. In our second match of the night here in Chicago. But ladies and gentlemen, still come tonight, we'll hear from Seth freaking Rollins, the WWE Universal Champion, who's here tonight, live in Chicago. We're live here in Chicago later on tonight. And here we are, it's Tiffy time here on Monday Night Raw. Everywhere in the world on Netflix, it's Tiffy time.
And her opponent from Prior Lake, Minnesota, Tiffany Stratton.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, Tiffany Stratton ready for action tonight against Liv Morgan of the Judgment Day, live tonight on Monday Night Raw, live on Netflix, right here tonight. Sold out here in Chicago. This is a big match here tonight, big fight tonight on Monday Night Raw in this women's match. Well, Liv Morgan versus Tiffany Stratton here in Chicago. And all beat down by Liv Morgan of the Judgment Day. Liv Morgan doesn't want this to be a fair fight tonight, and that's why she brought out her Daddy Dom, Dominic Mysterio, to the ring tonight to help her win tonight's match here on Netflix. Here on Monday Night Raw here tonight. That's why Dominic Mysterio is ringside here tonight. In her corner tonight in this matchup on Monday Night Raw. Liv Morgan versus Tiffany Stratton on Monday Night Raw on Netflix here tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Right now here in Chicago, Illinois. Live in Chicago. In Chicago, Illinois. Live on Netflix. Live on Netflix tonight. Big matchup here, folks. We do know that we don't know who will. We don't even know if the women's Raw champion will be on the line at the main event. But we'll see what happens, ladies and gentlemen. We still don't know who's going to be number 10 for that match, but I'm getting word that there is going to be a match that will take place tonight for that number 10 spot. But it was a match that was going to be taking place between Becky Lynch and B-Fab, but Becky, she had some words to say earlier backstage to our general manager, John Cena. She said it was an upset. Said she did lose last week. Said it was a fluke victory. She did tap. But reality, she tapped out like a bitch. Once AJ Lee put her in the Black Widow, she tapped like a bitch. Like a bitch. Well, now she got angry though. She wanted a match to be number 10. But our general manager John Cena said that was not possible. And it wasn't possible to happen tonight. But Becky was persistent about it. Becky said, "I want that match tonight to be a number 10 match." And Becky wanted a match as anyone. Becky said, "I want this match to be made for a number 10 match. But who would you want for me?" And then Becky said, "I want B-Fab to be my opponent." John Cena, he didn't agree at first. But then Becky Lynch said she would not come back to Raw, would not come back to WWE if she doesn't get her way. And we all know everything that happened in WWE. We all know that when you leave, it's all done. No one wants to be gone. No one wants it to end their career like that. So then it was made official. Made official for tonight, number 1 contender match between the man Becky Lynch and B-Fab. We thought we'd see like that, but it happened. It takes place tonight later on. And it's Tiffy time here on Monday Night Raw. The pin that's happening here by Tiffany Stratton on Liv Morgan here. 1, 2. 2 by Liv. 2 by Liv Morgan here. Liv Morgan and Tiffany Stratton here. Oh, let's move out of the ring. Was Liv here? With Liv Morgan here on Monday Night Raw on Netflix. And Liv Morgan and United National Liv Morgan here in action tonight. And Oblivion by Liv. The Oblivion by Liv Morgan. That should be it, folks. 1, 2, 3. That's it, folks. Liv Morgan with the victory here on Raw. Well, Liv Morgan beats Tiffany Stratton tonight here on Raw tonight. No help from Dominic. Dominic didn't even get any help here. Dominic didn't even distract Stratton tonight. Tried to, but didn't work at all. But didn't work tonight. But still, Liv Morgan beats Stratton here tonight in Chicago on Monday Night Raw on Netflix.
Here is your winner, Liv Morgan!
Well, Liv Morgan wins tonight, folks. Dominic didn't help, but Liv Morgan got the victory over Tiffany Stratton tonight. Right here on Netflix. Ladies and gentlemen, come up next. We're going to hear from our woman from the Raw Universal Champion, Seth freaking Rollins, next on Raw. The Visionaries here live next on Monday Night Raw. Please welcome the WWE Universal Champion, Seth freaking Rollins. The Visionary looking all spotted up here tonight. Fancy night, the Visionary, Seth freaking Rollins. Chicago, you sing it louder. Your champion's in the building. But let's talk about the man, and I use that word very loosely, who thinks he's going to take this championship from me in 3 weeks. Your hometown hero, your fragile little messiah, Phil Brooks. Yeah, cheer and boo me, whatever makes you feel better, but facts are facts. And the fact is, CM Punk is fragile physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, cosmically. You break easier than a Chicago sports, promise, Phil. But hey, I'm a generous champion. I'm a fighting champion. And I want Paris to get a match worthy of this spotlight, worthy of Netflix, worthy of Raw Universal Championship. So Punk, I'm not just defending this title in Paris. I'm challenging you to a 3 stages of hell match. That's right, 3 stages, 3 nightmares, 3 ways for me to break you all over again. Stage 1, Inferno match. Let's see if you can handle the heat, Phil. Stage 2, I quit match. Because hearing you say I quit will be music to my ears. And stage 3, last man standing. And when you're lying on the ground, staring up at the lights, wondering why you ever came back, I'll still be standing. So Phil Brooks, I hope you accept my challenge. Because if you don't, everyone will finally know what I already know. You can never hang with the best because you are too fragile. Fragile. See you in Paris. See you in Paris if you make it that far. Well, ladies and gentlemen, big words from Seth Rollins to CM Punk. To CM Punk tonight. Well, Rollins, 3 stages of hell match, which will take place. That's our main event. Made official Cena. What's our main event? And it's time. And here is the former Raw Women's Champion, the man, Becky Lynch. The former champion is here on Raw in Chicago.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall. Making her way to the ring from Dublin, Ireland, the man, Becky Lynch.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, Becky Lynch She said she wanted a match against B-Fab, but this match is now been made a number 10 match for AJ Lee's Women's WWE Raw Women's Championship in Paris, France, in 2 weeks, in 3 weeks, in Paris, the Saturday Night's main event. But ladies and gentlemen, the man, Becky Lynch, big time Bex, ready for action tonight. And it's B-Fab, live on Raw, on Netflix, in Chicago, Illinois. Live in Chicago. Well, ladies and gentlemen, big match here in Chicago. Who's over here making it together tonight? Who will be number 1 contender for the Intercontinental Championship? We find out later on tonight in our main event. Still to come here in Chicago. And here comes B-Fab.
And her opponent, representing the Street Profits, from Canton, Ohio, B-Fab!
Well, ladies and gentlemen, B-Fab, ready for action tonight, is B-Fab against Becky Lynch, is B-Fab. Well, Becky Lynch and B-Fab here, ready for action here tonight, and wait a minute, from behind Becky Lynch already, right away, Becky Lynch. We're at the B-Fab right away. It's the man, Becky Lynch. I don't think Becky wanted a match. I think Becky wanted to brutalize an opponent because of her championship match that was taken from her last week on Raw by AJ Lee. AJ Lee, who beat her last week for the WWE Raw Women's Championship. But now Becky Lynch she snapped. Becky snapped here. Was just snapped here. Becky was just attacking B-Fab here. Just a maybe number 10 match. Maybe it's not a number 10 match. And Becky didn't want this. I don't think Becky wanted the number 10. I think just wanted to beat up their opponent, beat the hell out of her opponent. Here tonight. And B-Fab. And now B-Fab being brutalized here by the man, Becky Lynch. By the man, Becky Lynch. Who's brutalizing, beating the hell out of B-Fab here on Raw in Chicago. And oh dear, what's Becky doing here? Bring her up the entrance ramp. Here's the man, Becky Lynch. Why is she doing this for, folks? I have no idea why she's attacking B-Fab for. Here on Monday Night Raw, B-Fab didn't cost her the championship. And she cost it herself. She tapped out like a bitch last week. We all know she tapped out like a bitch. And Becky said she didn't tap. Becky tapped for sure last week to AJ Lee. We all know she tapped out. Oh my God. B-Fab's getting destroyed by the man Becky Lynch, who snapped. Who has snapped here. Who has snapped here. The man just has snapped. And the man, what is Becky doing with B-Fab here? Oh no. No. What's she doing? Not for that far, Becky! Oh my God! B-Fab's in trouble, folks. So just some help for B-Fab. And now the man just brought back up here now and attack even more. There's not even a fight. The man, she's pissed. Becky's pissed off. And now, she did what she did tonight, but she's pissed. Well, but ladies and gentlemen, coming up, this is our main event. Live for the Intercontinental, to become the Intercontinental number 10 for the Intercontinental Championship. In our main event of Monday Night Raw, live in Chicago. And here comes the man who beat Psycho Clown last week on Monday Night Raw, El Grande Americano. Right here on Netflix.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall. Making his way to the ring from the Gulf of America. Weighing in at 202 pounds, El Grande Americano.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, El Grande Americano, the most famous luchador of all time here tonight in action. Against the mystery opponent, who we all know will be fighting up tonight for the number 10 title matches. You will face the Intercontinental Champion at Saturday night's main event for the Intercontinental Championship. Who will it be? We're going to find out later on, find it out in a few moments here, live on Monday Night Raw. We'll face Dominic Mysterio for the Intercontinental Championship at Saturday night's main event in Paris. Who's it going to be? Who is El Drama's opponent going to be tonight? Here on Netflix in Chicago. Oh, wait a minute, folks. Here is Penta. Penta's here on Netflix and here on Monday Night Raw tonight.
And his opponent from Ecatepec, Mexico, weighing in at 94 kilos, Penta!
Now, ladies and gentlemen, Penta. No fear, Penta tonight. Ready for action tonight. Penta takes on El Drama's here on Netflix for a chance to see who will face Dom Mysterio at Saturday night's main event in Paris for the WWE Intercontinental Championship. We also know Seth Rollins introduced challenge to CM Punk tonight. But ladies and gentlemen, next week, live on Monday Night Raw from Montreal, Quebec, Canada. We will hear from CM Punk live on Raw next week. But here we are, ladies and gentlemen. Penta versus El Drama live on Monday Night Raw on Netflix in our main event. For a number 1 title match, we will face Dominic Mysterio in Paris for the Intercontinental Championship for the IC title. Here we go, Ron Americano versus Penta here on Monday Night Raw on Netflix tonight. We saw Penta. We haven't seen Penta in the ring in a while here. Penta's been out with an injury. Suffered at the hands of this man, this man on the mask. We all know his name has been Ludwig Kaiser. Kaiser did take out Penta a few years back, a few weeks back at WrestleMania, last year WrestleMania, but now he changed his attitude and put on a mask. Let's put on a mask and call himself El Grande Mercado here tonight. We all know that is Ludwig Kaiser underneath that mask. But here we go. El Grande Mercado or Ludwig Kaiser versus Penta here on Monday Night Raw on Netflix. Penta said, I had a word with Penta earlier today. Penta said he wants to prove he has zero fear and that he will beat El Drama Americano tonight. Because he knows it's Ludwig Kaiser. He wants to destroy Kaiser like Kaiser did to him at WrestleMania with the help of his friends Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate. The Los Mexicanos, don't know what their name is. But they wore a mask as well. There we are. El Grande Americano and Penta here on Monday Night Raw, our main event. Live on Netflix. Here in Chicago, Illinois. Live in Chicago, Illinois. Live on Netflix. And Chicago, Illinois crowd up on their feet tonight. Penta and El Grande Americano. And again, hit to the face by Penta, who lays out the beatdown to El Grande Americano here tonight. Live on Raw in our main event on Netflix. In Chicago, Illinois. Live on Netflix. On Netflix, ladies and gentlemen, El Grande Americano versus Penta. The No Fear Penta here tonight on Monday Night Raw in Chicago, Illinois in our main event. And all that, Penta hit off the head, taking off the glove. Penta takes off his glove. Penta takes off the glove here. Penta takes off the glove. And Penta, let him put it away here, Penta. Zero fear. by Penta. And now Penta. Going to put this away. It's Penta now. Now Penta will put this away. Now it's Penta. And now Penta. He's looking for Penta's looking for something here. Penta. The Mexican. Destroyer by Penta. That could be it, folks. 1, 2, 3. Penta wins. Penta's #1 contender for Dominic. Face Dominic in Paris. What a main event match, ladies and gentlemen. Here in Chicago. What a match. And what a night it's been here in Chicago, ladies and gentlemen. What a main event match we just saw here tonight. On Monday Night Raw in Chicago. In Chicago, Illinois. Well, Chicago playing a hell of a night here in Chicago, ladies and gentlemen. They will join. What a night it's been here in Chicago. And watch this. The closing moments. The Mexican Destroyer by Penta for the 1, 2, 3. And Penta faces Dom Mysterio in Paris, France. That's our night's main event.
Here is your winner, Penta!
Well, ladies and gentlemen, what a win for Penta tonight. But ladies and gentlemen, they will join us for Monday Night Raw tonight. We'll see you in 2 weeks. We'll see you next week on Raw tonight, ladies and gentlemen. From Monday Night Raw from Chicago. Good night. We'll see you next week.